All right, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to YouTube Live. I'm going to give you guys a few moments to join the broadcast. Let these notifications go out. Let people know that I am live today. While I am waiting for the notifications to go out for the live stream, I wanted to make mention of a product I love and I've been using. What's up, Sunny? Hello, Robin, Jeneth, Tanisha. So if you guys did not know, I am a huge fan of this product called Built Bar. You guys can check out Built Bar at gagegirl.builtbar.com. Hey, Vanessa Z. Or just use promo code GageGirl. This is my favorite flavor, chocolate coconut. I use these as a great pre-workout snack. Just want to make mention of them real quick before we get into today's broadcast. They have 110 calorie, 15 protein, 6 fiber, 4 sugar, 4 fat. The net carbs are actually like 2 or 4. Thank you so much. I have been rocking the braids lately because I'm growing my bangs out. It was a cute idea for about 5 minutes and I'm over it. Braids are just really easy for me when I'm not trying to like do my hair all the way. And for those of you guys have seen my hair down, you know I have an F ton of hair and it's just really easy to put it in braids. Yeah, these bars are great, you guys. I highly recommend Built Bar. I love the way they taste. Hey, Devin Miranda, Brisace. What's up, everybody? Welcome, welcome. So if you guys need a great pre-workout snack that is healthy, tastes good, make sure you guys check it out. Your second cardio of the day is always under the live broadcast. It's my pleasure. So for those of you who Built Bars are absolutely amazing. And it's really funny once they asked me if I wanted to work with them, and like they were really like this like no-name company at the time. And I was like, I don't know, because companies ask me to work with them all the time. I said, well, let me see the products. It is keto friendly, yes. I looked at the nutritionals first. Once I saw the nutritionals, I'm like, this looks interesting. But then I tried them. Yes, you should be able to get them in Canada. So once I tried them, I was like, okay, these are awesome. These are awesome. So for those of you just joining the broadcast, welcome. My name is Christine. I am the owner and founder of Gage Girl Training and online meal planning and coaching service. I'm a food scientist and chemical engineer by training. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about overcoming failure. Hey, from Texas. What's up, Bonnie Richardson? Overcoming failure. So who on this broadcast has ever chose the nutrition label on the bar? You could screenshot that if you want. 15, no, it's kind of hard to see with the glare. 15 protein, 6 fat. You can check them out, gagegirl.builtbar.com. So anybody on this broadcast, has anyone ever felt like they have failed with respect to their weight loss goals? Anyone ever feel like you failed? I've failed. We've all failed. But let's see who's going to be honest today and admit it. You failed, but it's cool now. You usually do, and then you fail over and over again when you gain the weight back. My life at the moment, especially being injured, you hurt your Achilles. I'm so sorry to hear that. Robin Hensley agrees 100 times. Muscle and Praise says failed many times all of her life. You failed 2 times this year, 3rd time's a charm. Maltodextrin, okay guys, not trying to, the amount of malto is insignificant. It's actually something that is formulated in there, but this has how many net carbs? So 13 minus 6, 7, then it's got the erythritol, it's like 5 net carbs. I've used these on keto before, so they're definitely fine, but to each their own. So overcoming failure, what do you do when you fail? I'm going to challenge all of you guys today to look at failure differently. As opposed to looking at failure like you feel like you wasted a year. you failed in the last few days, you always seem to go several days, and then you have a mini fail, you get back to it. Here's the thing, guys. Reframe the thought when it comes to failure. Instead of saying, I failed, what I would like you guys to do is to be like, you know what? I need to rework my strategy. You didn't fail. Does that make sense, guys? You didn't fail. There we go. Sorry about that. It's an opportunity for you to revise your strategy. Think of it that way. Instead of saying I failed, instead of saying I messed up, it's be like, you know what? There was something flawed in my strategy. And I think a lot of people put so little thought into the strategy. They're just kind of going for it and just throwing whatever at the wall and hoping for success when you're not really taking an actual strategic approach. That's amazing. Oh, hey, Sonia, welcome. So, guys, as opposed to saying you failed, you'd be like, you know what? I need to rework my strategy. So, if you have failed, never look at it as failure is never final. Failure is never ultimate. Look at it as, what can I learn from this? When you mess up, ask yourself, what went wrong? A lot of people, when they mess up, they just kind of want to be shame. They feel shame. They feel guilt. They feel all kinds of emotions that are not productive to getting to a different result. So what I challenge you guys with today to overcome failure is to rethink your strategy. What went wrong? Ask yourself what went wrong. So for those of you who said that you have failed recently on this broadcast, I challenge you and I ask you to please comment back on the screen, what went wrong? Can you name one thing that went wrong? Was it poor time management? Was the goal too aggressive? Was your strategy was flawed because you weren't honest with yourself? Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. You say that you were not honest with yourself, and now you are more realistic and nice to yourself. Do you see what a big deal that is, you guys? As opposed to saying, I failed, to be like, no, this is an opportunity to revise the strategy. So many people are like, okay, so if you have no self-control, if you know you have no self-control, what steps do you need to take to dial that in? You said you didn't plan, you didn't prepare, you weren't in the right mindset. Bonnie Richardson says you were trying to do too much at once, thinking it is all or nothing. Crystal Lynn says I burn out. So how about instead of saying all or nothing, instead of saying you didn't have food and snacks planned out, rethink your strategy, guys. What could you do to make your protocol more convenient? Do you need a custom meal plan where everything is built in based off of convenience? Poor time management, no meal prepping, and too much seamless instead. So, guys, do you understand that everything you guys are putting up on the screen, the answers to your problems are here? You guys know. So, always, always, always use failure as an opportunity to learn. And now, because we are human, our initial instinct is going to be for most of us, now, unless you're perfect or you're at an extreme level of maturity, which not most of us have achieved, most of us will feel bad, will go through some turmoil of negative emotions. Naisa, what's up, girl? Most of us will go through some sort of negative experience when we experience a failure. We'll feel bad, go through that. But instead, you guys, ask yourself, what went wrong? And with anything in life. With anything in life, you guys. With anything in life, if a relationship isn't working out, if there's a job that's not working out, if you're not reaching your career goals, if you are not reaching your savings goals, if you are having issues, ask yourself what went wrong. Where can I revise my strategy to make sure that this doesn't happen again? So a lot of you guys said you weren't honest with yourself about your goals. Some of you guys said exactly, and this step where you pause and analyze. So many people think that they need to just do, action, 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 action. But guys, like, give yourself the grace and give yourself the time to reflect. Give yourself the time to sit back and think through what really went wrong. What went wrong? Why didn't it pan out? Why were you not able to execute it? And if you start addressing your problems from a logical, strategic perspective, you will get a lot further. Otherwise, if you don't take that step, which a lot of people don't, you know what's going to happen, right? You're going to keep repeating the same problem over and over and over and over and over again. So guys, if you are just joining the broadcast, welcome. It's Christine with Gauge Girl Training. I ask you guys to please give the video a thumbs up. Hey, what's up, Leali? Modern Day Mom B, welcome. Crystal Lynn. So what we're talking about, for those of you just joining us, is overcoming failure and using failure as an opportunity to revise your strategy. If you've messed up on your meal plan, if it's not working and it's not something you can strategically execute, you have to ask yourself, what went wrong? What went wrong? Where is it falling apart? What things do I need to be mindful of and focus on so that way this can work? You just came out of a 4-week binge and you gained 7 pounds. You had a bad argument with your partner and you felt very unstable. This week you're back on track, eating whole and clean, no sugar, no junk, and working out. Congratulations for that, Susie's Smart. What you brought something up in your statement that I think is a really big reason why a lot of people mess up on their plans. And you said the word unstable. I believe that when people have unstable environments, whether it's an unstable financial situation at home, unstable emotional situation, unstable relationships, unstable job, unstable anything. Can I see this? Yes, Mindy, I can see your smiley face. Anytime there is an unstable circumstance in somebody's life, I find that those people have the hardest time being successful on their plans. No doubt. With, like, I could take 2 people with the same exact body, and have one person in a stable environment and another person in an unstable environment. The person in the stable environment is always going to do better than the person in the unstable environment. And it's unfortunate, but a lot of times when you're in an unstable environment, there can be a lot of excess variables that you have to deal with and manage on a regular basis that make it challenging to follow the plan. So for instance, to draw an analogy to this, let's say, I'll give you a different example of an unstable environment. Let's say you are trying to save money for something. Let's say you're trying to save money to buy a house and you need a down payment and you need your closing costs. So if you're trying to save money for a down payment and closing costs to buy a house, you would need to plan how much you can save, right? However, if you have unforeseen expenses, let's say all of a sudden you have all these outside variables that are pulling from the funds that you needed to set aside to save to get to your rate of saving this down payment by a certain amount of time, if you have all these unforeseen circumstances coming at you, it's going to throw off your ability to reach that goal of saving for that house. If you have all these expenses and things, so that's like the difference between being in but versus if you're in a stable environment where you know exactly what your expenses are, you can you can calculate for them, you can accommodate for them, you understand that they're coming, you know they're coming, and you know how much you can practically do as a result of that. So can stress make your environment unstable? Absolutely, stress can make your environment unstable. However, it's all in how you manage your stress. We all have stress, but it's all in how you manage your stress. I think that one of the best ways I've learned to effectively manage stress is this. And this is huge for me. I've actually been having a breakthrough in my stress management over the last 2 months. And what I've stopped doing is I've stopped carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders, even though I still do. But what I do is I allow myself temporary moments. Hey, Leali, I allow myself temporary moments of where it's not that I'm ignoring the problem. How do I say this? It's like I pick and choose my battles. I can allow a stressful situation or some bad news or stressful news or something that's going to be a big burden. I can allow it to ruin my entire day and therefore make me unproductive in every other area of my life. Or, yes, Victoria, you nailed it. You let it go, non-attachment. And you articulated it perfectly. I have been practicing something that is called, non-attachment. I allow myself, it's like I put this bubble around myself where I don't allow whatever is going on to impact me immediately. Yes, I know I'm going to have to deal with it. Yes, I know I'm going to have to face whatever challenge and item I'm dealing with. But if I almost allow myself to not ignore, no, I'm not saying ignore, but if you allow yourself to not let it debilitate you from focusing on everything else that you need to deal with in the meantime, it can allow you to more constructively manage and handle the things that you need to handle on a regular basis. You have PTSD and didn't realize that stress can create an unstable environment and affect my weight loss goals. Unapologetic about caring for you first. And Maria, I think that is something that is really profound, to be unapologetic about caring for yourself. You should never have to apologize for caring for your own mental well-being. And that whole non-attachment thing that I've been practicing has been extremely empowering for me because I only focus on what I can control right now in the next 24 hours. If I cannot impact it, then what is the point of allowing something to drain my constructive energy that I need to be effective in the present moment? So the thing is, if you failed with something, do not draw from your current resources. Do not draw from your current resources that you need for today's problems. Don't use today's fuel for yesterday's trip. Do you understand what I'm saying, guys? Don't do it. Like, do not spend that energy. Energy is your most important currency. When I say energy, I'm not talking about calories. I'm talking like the stuff that you allow to have power in your mind, the stuff that you allow yourself to ruminate and think on and just really pull your attention. Whatever you give your attention and energy to, that has the most value. So what you want to do, if there is an issue, if there is a problem, if something is going on, if you have messed up, if you cannot control it, And let me remind you guys, but what can you control? You can control your mindset. You can control your actions in the next 24 hours. You can control the present, but you cannot control time. You cannot control people. You cannot control the number of hours in a day. But what you can control is what can practically and tangibly come up with solutions. Do not waste your energy on, do not waste your energy and attention. Protect your attention, protect your energy, because that is your greatest resource. It is your greatest resource. Lee Alley says you just came off of keto because it wasn't right for you at this time in your life. You switched the original shred and didn't wean off the carbs. You felt bad at first, but you're just trying to keep with the good habits. And that's all you can do at this point, Lee Alley. I think that's all you can do at this point. And guys, stop beating yourself up. And I know I feel like I tell you guys this every single day, but stop beating yourself up over things that you cannot control. Use failure, use your mistakes as an opportunity to revise your strategy. And non-attachment to problems has been, not problems. I feel like I'm wording that wrong. It just, you got to deal with things one thing at a time. So if you know that there's some kind of big ticking time bomb thing that you got to deal with, you can either let that debilitate you and make you completely scatterbrained from everything else going on and every other responsibility, or you can just be like, look, that's an issue. I got to deal with that, and I'm going to deal with that. But I'm not going to deal with it right this absolute second. Do I think endomorph men can get into great shape? Absolutely. Absolutely. And mistakes teach you the important lessons. You missed yesterday's live talk. Well, I'm happy that you are here today, Kelly. Shannon says, I've learned that it's important to determine what I can control and work on and let other things go. The sooner you can let other things go, it doesn't mean that you're a pushover. It doesn't mean that you're letting things slide. It just says, I am going to preserve my energy. I'm going to preserve my energy and attention for what I can focus on right now and what I can tangibly impact. Because why would you want to waste your energy on something that you can't control? And I'm with you on that. You're doing it for your sanity. You have to do it for your sanity. Do you want to be insane 24 hours a day, worrying about things you can't control? According to Einstein, that is the definition of insanity. It is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. If you are doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, you will go insane. Naisa says, when you've let things go, it has allowed me to be free, letting go of the chains. Let some stuff go, guys. I'm telling you, let some things go. If you have a habit of overreacting to certain things, if you have a habit, I've had a bad habit of overreacting to a lot of things. I have had a bad habit of just allowing myself to be so pissed off and have so much anger and frustration on a regular basis, to the point that, like, I would literally feel the stress in my face. Have you ever been so stressed out that you felt it in your face? Like, I'm talking like I'd feel like my eyelids twitch, my eyebrows twitch. I'm talking like my neck hurts. Like, do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like, I've had phases in my life where I've been so stressed out, like my eyelids are tweaking, like I feel like I'm white knuckling it. Like, and I've felt like that 24/7 for days and weeks and weeks. And I can't let it go. Like, have you ever just not been able to let certain things go that you just want to, like, give yourself permission to stay mad at over and over and over and over again? And when you do that, the only one that is suffering is you. The only one that's suffering is you. So carrying that stress, carrying your teeth hurt, dude, I used to grind my teeth at night. I think I still do a little bit. It's terrible. Terrible habits. So what do you do about it? You reassess and revise your strategy. So if stress is holding you back, if you are in an unstable environment and you need to tweak your environment, what's up with this lighting? I'm sorry, guys. This is like, you may want to tweak your environment to be more stable. I find that the more stable your environment is, the more successful you're going to be towards your goals. And the reason why a stable environment is so important is because it allows for consistency. It minimizes variables. And we have to choose success and choose our attitude and choose to be content. It doesn't just happen. Absolutely. And Sonia, I am with you. I have a reactive personality too. You say you have been trying to control the way you react to situations. Here's the secret though with that, Sonia. As somebody who has struggled with that in the past, having a reactive personality, you actually have more control over the situation when you can control your response to the situation. Let me repeat that. You have more control over the situation when you can control your response. When you can control the way you respond to something, that is when you are on your way. Because like I said, you are not allowing things to steal your power and steal your attention, because everybody's superpower is your energy. Do not allow anyone or anything to steal your energy or your attention. Think of your energy like your money. Think of your energy and your attention, because it's the same thing. Where you put your energy is where your money is going to come from. Like, just like you would not just open your wallet and just let somebody have your money or let somebody go to town with your credit card, that is what you are doing when you allow yourself to overreact. You are allowing them to take your power, to take your funds, to take your energy, to take your attention. Do not allow anybody to have that. Do not allow anyone to have it. You preserve that. You preserve that and you keep that in here. And I'm not saying that it doesn't mean you don't have a response. It doesn't mean you don't feel any kind of way, but you do not allow anyone to take that power from you. And there's so much more power in controlling your reaction than just giving full vent to your reaction. It's an art that I'm learning. You said depression makes you overreact. Your reactive through therapy has been beneficial. I get it, guys. I get it. But you got to ask yourself, what does that accomplish? What does that accomplish? And I think it comes down to what we were saying, that like non-attachment thing that we were talking about earlier, where you can't if you give full vent to your anger, sometimes you have to allow yourself to not attach to what's happening, to give yourself the time to figure out. Hang on, let's see here. Stephanie says, I've seen anger as take such a toll on your physical appearance, your marriage, when it's constant stress, even PTSD. I'm practicing mindfulness and being present, and crazy things are happening. Hey, Ruthie. Hey, Ruthie. Hey, Sonia. Yeah, so like I was saying, you guys, you don't want to give full vent to that anger. I'm not saying that you explode later on. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying bottle it up. What I am saying is utilize self-control. Do not allow, just because stuff's happening around you, you can detach from those things. You don't have to allow every single thing to permeate you and dignify a full-blown emotional response. Be the gatekeeper of your energy and attention. Like I was saying, be the gatekeeper of your energy and attention, because when you prize and value that energy and attention, you are not allowing anybody to take from you. You say, feel the feeling, but process it through, decide. Yes, thank you. I think you articulated it really nicely there, Shannon. You said, feel the feeling, but process it through, decide what / if you should do anything, and then let go and move on. Exactly. Feel it, but then pause before processing. Pause, 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 pause. Taking reactive approaches to anything in life is never a good thing. It's never a good thing. You have to allow yourself to pause, because nobody should take your attention and take your energy without your consent. But the thing is, you don't realize you're consenting. You are throwing away your valuable energy left and right every single day. And I agree with you, Stephanie. It's amazing the control over yourself when you detach and stop letting the environment slash whatever hijack your emotions and attention. I like the word you used here, Stephanie. You said the word hijack. Do not allow people to hijack your energy. Do not let anyone or anything allow you to hijack your energy. Don't let anyone take it from you. Does it fuel you toward your purpose, or will it take you down a rabbit hole? A couple of seconds of thought can change your direction. And I definitely agree with you guys on that. A few seconds of pausing can be night and day difference. So, and Shannon says it really nicely here. Will that take you down a rabbit hole? If you know for a fact that something is going to take you down a rabbit hole, and you got to know yourself. You have to know yourself. For instance, I'm going to share something with you guys. I personally know that I have an addictive personality. I know that, for instance, there's certain things I will not allow myself to partake in because I know it's going to be a recipe for disaster. There's just certain things because I know myself. So if you know yourself, if you know that I know that I cannot have certain foods in the house. I know that I cannot participate in certain vices because I know myself. I just know myself. And as a result, why would I set myself up for failure if I know that if I'm around this situation, if I am in these circumstances, I know my weaknesses as a human. I know my tendencies. I know my flaws. I know my vices. So you have to protect yourself from being set up for those situations. Agreed. Now, we're not talking about other vices, because I know we all have different things that we deal with. But all of that being said, you guys, I hope that this is a constructive talk for you, because I mean, we're talking about some life-changing stuff here. If you can control your emotions to the point that if you can control your emotions to the point where you don't attach to the situation, you almost allow yourself to emotionally withdraw, allow yourself to pause, you will claim the stability that you need to have around you in order enough to minimize variables that are detracting you from your goals. So, back to the topic to tie this all together. The topic of today's chat was overcoming failure. The key to overcoming failure is revising your strategy. And I think what a lot of us need to do in revising our strategies towards our goals is not allowing everything that happens to throw us off our game. And the way to not allow things to throw you off your game is to pause, to non-attach, to reclaim control of how you react to situations, and sometimes having the self-control to not react to every single thing that happens. It doesn't mean you didn't feel some kind of way. It doesn't mean you didn't notice. It does not mean that you're not going to deal with it. It just means you are reserving the time. You are choosing to protect your mental space where you're at right now, to not steal from the energy you need to do what you need to do right now. Because how many times, guys, listen for a second here. How many times have you ever been in a situation where, have you ever been in a situation where you have gotten in a bad mood over something, anything, and you allowed that bad mood to stop you from working out, stop you from eating healthy, stop you from making a good choice? You've allowed that bad mood to lead you down a rabbit hole of just bad decisions that are not moving you towards your goals. Guys, that's ultimately the issue. The ultimate issue is dealing with, especially as women, we deal with things when we're in a bad mood, when something happens and we're going through it, like, and that's what I'm talking about, the stability thing. What about in the instance when this bad mood negativity comes from a family member or a significant other? When that happens, this is what I'm talking about, you guys. You got to ask yourself, you have to non-attach. Non-attach. And I'm probably saying that wrong. Is that even proper grammar English? I don't even know. You have to allow yourself to detach from it. That can be going on with them, but you almost have to have this invisible wall. You have to almost have this invisible wall where you protect your energy and don't allow it. Yes, practicing non-attachment. Thank you for articulating that for me, Victoria. Practice non-attachment. You have to practice going through things where something's going on. You typically want to be in a bad mood. You want to be stressed out. You want to drink wine. You want to eat whatever you want to eat. You want to say F it to your goals. You want to allow yourself to be in the chaos. You want to just you want to hit the pause button on your life. Who hits the pause button on your life when there's chaos going on? Don't we all? If you are dealing with some personal chaos, and personal chaos can look different for every single person, if you are dealing with personal chaos, it's very easy to hit pause on all of your goals, but in reality, you're not hitting pause on your goals. In reality, you are most likely moving backwards and not moving forwards, because that's just what happens. So when that happens, if that happens, we need to practice non-attachment, revise our strategies, and not allow these things to completely cripple us from reaching our goals. So non-attachment is something that is very hard to do. So don't think that if you don't have this nailed down, that there's something wrong with you. It's my pleasure, Nita. It's something that you have to continuously practice. You're trying to find yourself. It takes time. It takes a lot of time. It takes a ton of maturity to practice non-attachment, because you, as women, like, we take things personally all the time that weren't even meant to be taken personally. But then even when they are personal attacks, how do you not take a personal attack personally? Go figure. If you can manage, Stephanie says, I feel like when I practice non-attachment, others often tell me they feel like I'm not there or living my own life. Is this common for people not doing it? I haven't experienced that. If anything, when I practice non-attachment, I'm the one who benefits from the non-attachment. And the people in my life don't necessarily want to see me going through an emotional roller coaster. The older you get, you just don't care. Aw, I'm so glad, Sonia. And I think that if somebody is thriving off of you being an emotional hot mess from what they're trying to throw on you, you need to run from that situation. You need to run from that situation. Victoria says setting boundaries is very healthy, especially if you have a tendency to overextend yourself for others. Now, that is a can of worms, setting boundaries. I think that's what it's coming down to, guys. It's setting boundaries, practicing non attachment, and thanks, Latanya. This is definitely a good chat. We have to know our own value and treasure it, even if others don't. I find that when I practice non attachment, there's actually a lot more peace. And the reason there's a lot more peace is because sometimes, in and of myself, I can make a situation worse internally than it actually is by giving it all of my power. And I refuse to give anything my power anymore. Hell no. Like, I'm too old for this shit. I'm way too old for it. I will not do it. I will not do it. Like, my non-attachment game is like, I am not going to allow dumb shit to... I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So if you're with me in the I'm not playing that game mindset, give me a high five, because I don't play it. I don't play it. I don't do it. I don't mess with it anymore. My energy is way too valuable. My energy is way too valuable to be stressed out, having my face bugging out, having my eyelids twitch, having my neck hurt, being close to being I've been hospitalized for this shit before, you guys. A year ago, I was hospitalized for this type of shit. So it is extremely toxic to your health. Yes, and please give this video a like, friends. Please give this video a like. I don't do it. I don't play that game. And you guys can say, I don't play that game. So overcoming failure, what the number one tip I'm giving you guys today to overcome failure is to revise your strategy. And the best way that most of us need to revise our strategies is to control how we react to situations. To control how we react to situations that debilitate us from just reaching our goals. Do you know what I'm saying? You got to control how you react to stuff, because these things, these variables get thrown at us all the time. I can preach to you guys all day long about meal prep. I can preach to you all day long about workouts, and I do that in my videos. But for these live chats, I really want to have more heart-to-heart chats with you guys about the other stuff, that's really causing the problem. Because so much of it is your mindset, guys. So much of it is your mindset, and then once you get over the mindset stuff, it's mostly nutrition. So that's what I have today, guys. Thanks for tuning in to Gage Girl Live. I will catch you all live tomorrow. Stay tuned. We got some new YouTube uploads for you. If you didn't check out this morning's upload, I talked about visceral fat. Really good video. And guys, last but not least, one more time, check out my friends at Built Bar. This is my